When somebody lies on my table, there's only so much that my eyes can see and my hands can feel. So the big breakthrough, what I consider to be, a tremendous breakthrough in the whole science of healing, is how can we listen to you? How can we tap into this library of information that you have about yourself? So you have this intelligence center. I always say it's your brain, but it's more than that. Your heart has an intelligence center. Your gut is an intelligence center. It's stored every memory of everything that's ever happened to you at the subconscious level. All the memories. It knows what bone's out of place. It knows if you're a little bit dehydrated. There was an article in, I want to say Scientific American, but I think it's something else, last year that said that the human brain can perform 1,000,000 times 1,000,000,000 operations per second. So that's 1,000,000,000 plus another 6 zeros operations per second. I don't know how they counted that. I really want to know that. But the point is, we've got a supercomputer like no other sitting on our shoulders. And the fact that anybody is living anything less than the most miraculous life it indicates that there's something blocking this incredible intelligence, from being able to, be expressed in this thing called your life. So if you're struggling in health, if you're struggling in relationships, if you're struggling in, happiness, it's because something's blocking this incredible system from functioning optimally. There's something blocking you from accessing your full potential. So, what I've spent the last 23 years doing is trying to figure out how to hack this supercomputer and get it to, guide me when I'm treating somebody. And so that's what I'm going to actually show you, what I figured out over 23 years. So, a lot of my concepts have come from things kind of ideas I've stolen from Tesla. So if any of you have studied Tesla, what are some of the things he invented?
Radar, wireless electricity.
Radio?
Yeah.
He discovered the radio. He discovered remote control. So he's an amazing, amazing human being. But the radio, what's the phenomenon of radio? So if you go back, this is around the early 1890s, I believe, that was invented. So you have something that sends out an electromagnetic signal. So it sends out a frequency, like your radio, let's see, what's it? 95.5. Okay, so is that 95.5 megahertz or something like that? But whatever it is, it's a certain frequency. And so you have a transmitter sending out that frequency with music or somebody talking, or there's some information being sent out. So if this were the 1800s and somebody said, there's invisible waves floating through the air with information, and Mozart's actually playing in the air right now, but you just don't have a receiver, you don't have a radio to interpret that information, people would think you're crazy, right? There's Mozart floating through the air, what? But because we have a radio, we can just switch it on and we can prove that it's real. There's actually information floating through the air right now. And if you dial in that frequency, you can tune into what that information is. So you need a transmitter and something to receive it to interpret that information. Well, what I've discovered and what I'm here to tell you today is that each of you is transmitting every piece of information about yourself. If you're shy, if you believe in yourself, if you like yourself, if your third cervical vertebrae is out of place, if you're allergic to a certain food, if you're angry, it's like, women are really intuitive. So if a guy walks up to them, instinctively, how do you know if you can trust them? It's like we're always broadcasting stuff. Especially women, really very sensitive to that. Our survival depends on our ability to make quick decisions on is this situation safe or not. So at the subconscious level, we're dialed into that. So what I'm going to show you today, muscle testing, is the receiver. It's the way to interpret that information that we don't consciously know how to access.